Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Maybe with Ryan, Tim Thurber.
Oh, God. Hello, people.
And this is State of Atlanta Live. Ryan, you need to have your thing unmuted if you're going to be cracking a beer open with us. All right, yeah.
I got one.
All right.
This may be our best episode ever because it doesn't seem like Ryan's microphone's working, so it'll be just a lot of Tim and me. I don't know. Testing out this live thing on Facebook. Facebook.com/State of Atlanta is the page, but if you're listening to this live, you already know that. But if you're not listening to it live, that's where you'll go to hear this again. Hopefully it comes out all right. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Hanging in there, quarantine week 80.
Yeah, I forget how many days it's been. I stopped doing my my chalk outlines, the background, as I've been upstairs the past couple of weeks, and so yeah, it's
That's a blank wall for you right there behind you, David. You just put some red marks in there, or blue.
I don't think the wife would approve of starting to do marks on the guest bedroom wall, but yeah, maybe we'll get back downstairs to the studios next week. It's been a lot of work going on down there with what little free time we have during all of this, but let's talk about when we may be seeing some sports again. I have a new conspiracy theory this week.
All right, what you got?
All right, I think right now when we were getting close to having the name and likeness rights coming out there to pay these players, the NCAA was not sure how to handle this or what to do. So we need another season to knock this out. So let's create a weaponized virus in China and ship it over to the States so we can shut down football and basketball and all the sports until we can figure out how we're going to pay the players. And maybe we cut a few schools out. They can't continue sports any longer. They got to drop programs. They realize how bad of an idea it is to pay players.
That is quite the conspiracy theory you got going on there, David.
Yeah.
Not too far off of other people's conspiracy theories, though, right?
There's enough of them out there to go around. So, yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, hey, John Weaver, thanks for watching. Hey, Tanya Maxwell, thanks for joining.
Tanya, yeah, get it right, man.
Tanya, got to get it right. Max, yes. Yeah, so that's just something I was thinking about today when I was putting together some stuff for this. This is all behind. This is the NCAA is behind all of this.
I mean,
if any organization is capable, well, goodness,
right?
If any organization is capable, it's them.
It would be them, right? Yeah. So there was an article came out by the illustrious Brett McMurphy this week where he tweeted about it and he said that he surveyed all 130 FBS ADs and this was the results. But if you actually read the article, which no one does anymore, only 113, which is a lot. 113 replied, but his tweet makes it sound like this is unanimous consent from all 130 ADs, and it says that 61% predict that college football doesn't begin until October or November. What do you guys think?
As long as it starts, I'm okay with it. That's it.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, 14% believe it begins in spring. So it kind of leads me to believe we may actually get some fall football going on. If only 14% think of spring start, but if you go further down into his little stats and whatnot, of the 61%, I think it's like 75% think it's going to be just an 8 or 9 game conference schedule, not doing the full out of conference schedule.
I mean, that kind of disappoints me. I
think football will happen.
Well, football will happen. I agree, Ryan, in some capacity. But, one of the big things that the G5 guys G5 ADs are talking about how they need to have the out-of-conference games to pay for the programs. And we're already talking about possibly programs ditching football or dropping down or something and something crazy going on. And if we don't get the money games in there, that's even more of a chance that something like that would happen, right?
Yeah, I think we need the money games. I mean, us and most G5 programs.
I don't know. I feel like we could survive this. I don't know.
Just scrape through it.
I think we could, but I think it's going to be the P5s are probably the ones that are more likely to say that let's go ahead with no out of conference games. But that's some big money games for them too. There's those first weeks where you have the Bama's playing the Texas or whoever. I don't even know who they're playing this year. Those Chick-fil-A kickoff games. There's a lot of TV money coming through. And that's actually another thing. One of the ADs said that if the TV companies have any say-so on TV networks have any say-so on how many games are played, then you're going to play 12 games because TV people want to get as many games in as possible.
That would definitely cause a problem if you only want to play 8 conference games, right?
A 4-4 record gets you a bowl game?
Sure. I don't know.
That'll be fine. Whatever. And maybe they cancel the bowls, you know? Whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about. I feel like we're probably not going to get all 674 bowl games that they have nowadays. I just think logistically it doesn't make sense to even try to work. If we're starting in the spring, it doesn't even make sense to try to like have them in the spring because you do your playoff games, maybe your signature bowl games, like the top 12 money making bowl games or something like that. But I don't see them having all of them.
Yeah, I think you have playoffs, and then you maybe the New Year's 6 or whatever it is, and then that's it.
Which likely means no G5 programs in a bowl game, right? I mean, unless you, maybe the New Orleans Bowl or something like that. Or not New Orleans Bowl. What is the one that
the Access Bowl or
whatever it's called?
It's the Access Bowl, I think.
The Access Bowl.
I think we generally lose money on them though. So.
Right. Yeah, so that's not the issue. We'll lose money on them. We'll still lose money on them either way. But I think it'd be kind of weird just to have, half dozen bowl games or something in May leading into Memorial. Because that's what they're talking about is it could be a Memorial Day championship weekend for college ball if they start in the spring and they do a full 12-week or 12-game season for everybody, which would be kind of crazy. I don't know. I guess one of the other questions they had was the ACC and the SEC play eight conference games, but the other Power Fives play 9 conference games. And now it's like if we're doing just conference games, either the ACC and SEC need to add an extra or the other programs need to drop one, which comes with its own level of confusion of now trying to figure out who's going to add. Exactly. I would assume you're probably going to add. You're not going to tell 3 conferences to play a less game. You're probably going to have ACC and SEC add 1 game.
I mean,
yeah, and the teams are available for it. They're already like not playing certain players every year. So I mean, not players, it's certain teams every year. So they would just like make that happen. The SEC has been talking about going to a 9-game schedule for years now. So. Well,
yeah. What is the SEC's big issue with that is you've got too many like rivalry games that they don't want to change by doing something like that. Yeah. That's the big issue.
They've had their scheduling set up for a long time, and even just adding a game will probably cause drama as far as who has to play who.
Let's face it, it's college sports. No matter what you do, you're going to have drama with it. There's no way of doing it without any kind of
right.
Because you're not going to make everybody because you got the combination of fans. You got the students, and they're probably the stupidest fans altogether. And then you've got your diehard, your 85, 95-year-old fans that still expect to be wearing leather helmets or something like that. And you got your younger, more recent grads who are still kind of the drunk party scene people who just want to play the in-state rival every single week or whatever. You're not going to get any, unanimous support from your fan base whatsoever at all. I mean, other than Georgia State, we have actual like sane fans that can rationalize and know the position of what's going on and what's best for the program. Which I'm not kidding. The Georgia State fan base knows what's best for the program. The problem is the athletic department is not the Georgia State fan base.
That's funny. Yeah, we should just take over the athletic department. Us. We'll do it on a volunteer basis, and we'll do development. We'll do. That's the only thing we really need to do. But
sorry, Tanya pointed out I was doing more than watching. I have a tiny little USB cord here I was fidgeting with. Thanks for calling me out on that one.
Luckily, that's all we're fidgeting with, David.
Yeah, well, my hands are between in my lap fidgeting. I can tell you.
Usually,
imagine what it looked like.
Usually, you guys aren't listening, so we just let him go. You know, me and Tim just sit here. Well, there goes David again.
It's not like we go back and rewatch these things. So.
Second time in an hour. God.
They said another thing I was reading about. It said that it'd be a 90 days. If we do like a full 12 weeks starting in the spring, it'd be basically 90 days between the championship game and the kickoff of the following season. So not a lot of time for players to recover or whatever. But which is fine. I get over that. You're talking about 18 and 22-year-old kids. 3 months to recover, fine. You'll be fine. But a good this is actually in the Brett McMurphy article, which I thought was probably the only thing that was interesting in there, was if you only have 90 days between seasons, the likelihood of coaches being on the hot seat and possibly getting fired really diminishes. Like we may actually have like no coaches on the hot seat, no coaches getting fired because you don't have enough time to have somebody else come in and start the program over with their version of recruiting, putting in their offense and their defense. So it could be a season where literally no coach gets fired. So any team that has a coach that they're wanting to get out right now would probably be anti 12-week season because that's another year for them.
That's a good point. I mean, it's kind of like an extended stay for some coaches, right?
Stay of execution.
Stay of execution.
Do we have any hot seat Sunbelt coaches? I don't pay enough attention to the other teams to know if there's anybody. I would say Sean Elliott's definitely not on the hot seat.
No. He's fine now.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He's actually on he's on the perfect seat. He's on that the room temperature seat. You know, it's not even warm like, you know, someone's sitting in it beforehand or anything, because the only way he's leaving is if he has a craptacular couple of seasons, and he's not going to get, I mean, with us getting rid of him, and he's only going to get picked up by having a really, really good run of seasons. So
now, I guess
we're not losing to a higher program anytime soon is what I'm saying.
But if we're taking over the athletics department, we have a passionate fan base that's anti-South Carolina recruiting. So I don't know. We might get rid of Sean Elliott. You know,
if the three of us are taking over athletics, then, I mean, it's going to be a fight for which one of us wants to be the head coach, right?
You can take it, David.
Or maybe what we do is, I'm pretty sure anybody would be better at defensive coordinator. So any one of us could probably do a better defensive coordinator job, right?
I think we'll have your dog be the defensive coordinator, Mops.
Mops, yeah.
Yeah.
She couldn't be doing any worse.
No, he's offensive. So, she. Sorry.
She. Yeah, everyone in my house besides me is female, Ryan. There's nothing else going on over here.
It's easy.
But no, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I did find it interesting. Also, in the article, they said that basically whatever happens is going to come from a unanimous decision by the P5 conferences. So no matter what the G5 conferences want to do, it's going to come down to what the P5 conferences want to do.
That's why I get on to you when you talk about how, like, if we set up some rule that makes it explicit difference. And I'm like, the way the NCAA is already set up is that if they all vote one way, there's nothing that P5 can do about it.
No, you're not
There's
wrong.
already a distinction.
You're not wrong, but why put that in writing? Why make it there?
It is already in writing.
No, what's it in writing? There's no writing of what a P5 or what a G5 is, except for the fact they talk about it all the time.
No. If the P5 conferences disagreed with the G5 conferences, you would think that there would be a stalemate. But if the P5s can always outvote the G5s, then there's fundamentally something written in there that allows the G5s to do, or the P5s to do that. There's a distinction.
I agree. So John Weaver is chiming in here saying that Coastal Carolina's head coach, whatever that guy's name is, may be on the hot seat, which I guess.
I thought the CEO guy already left, right? And then they put somebody else there, but the guy who was there is still there?
Well, he was the stock market billionaire. I don't know if he was even a CEO. Was he just like a stock market bajillionaire or something? Well, did he actually coach them once they got into FBS, or was he gone before then?
I thought he did coach them.
I think it was just this season. I thought it was just this season.
This is his first season?
He left. Mm-hmm. I should
probably pay way more attention to stuff like that.
Maybe John can tell us if he was a coach.
John might know better than me. Yeah, I talk out of my ass a lot. So.
Is John going to be our intern for the episode? We can just send him out to look up things. Well, John actually, we don't need to send him out. John actually probably knows this off the top of his head. So
Right.
he's the one that should probably have a podcast talking about Sunbelt sports and Georgia State. He knows a lot more about it.
No, but I thought the whole.
Finish your sentence there, Ryan.
Sorry. I thought Tim was talking too. So I thought the whole point was us talking shit about things we didn't know about.
Well, yeah, it is. It is.
I was just going to say, they could be the fact checkers, the people watching.
Yeah, we definitely. That would be great to have some fact checkers just to just point up just do the old Family Feud thing as soon as we say something that's wrong. That'd be awesome. And just keep on going without even.
But I said it confidently.
Don't even clarify anything whatsoever at all. Just keep it going. All right. So intern Weaver has said billionaire guy left before they went FBS. All right, which I could kind of see the writing on the door with that. So they needed stadium expansion and they needed money to go FBS. And so if you have a billionaire as your head coach, the school's going to come to the head coach we need 10,000 more seats in the stadium. Oh, we need to pay for a new sport to be created. Oh, we need to do this. And they're going to start beating down the billionaire's door. From my experience with billionaires, there is billionaire on paper, but not the paper you can actually cash at a bank. It's he's probably broke. Spent all his money on Epstein's Island. Doesn't have any money left for spending on sports. Hi, Tyler. By the way, thanks for joining.
Is that athletic department, Tyler?
No, that's a buddy of mine, Tyler.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thought we were about to get in trouble.
Well, Tyler's not with the program anymore, though, right? I mean, I guess I shouldn't put people's business out there. I don't know. I might be making stuff up. I'm making stuff up.
Tyler's gone?
I thought so, but I don't mind me.
I rarely ever do.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ticketing Tyler was gone. I like Ticketing Tyler.
He might not be. Seriously, just stop right now. I don't want to start rumors.
Is he quitting?
Does anyone know if Tyler's gone?
Do we know where he is? Is he alive? Do we know if Ticketing Tyler is still alive?
Guys.
Should we call 911 right now? Should we put out an all points bulletin for Ticketing Tyler? All right. Yeah.
Oh my God! I need to drink more.
Yeah, you do. You should drink more before we start this whole thing.
You doing PBRs tonight, Ryan? No,
did you head on down to have
I had two before we started.
I had a lot of beer before we started. I was at home with two kids all day. Of course, I was drinking a lot this morning.
What time did the beer start flowing for you, David?
I try to wait until I start cooking dinner, but we eat dinner early, so it's like 4 o'clock. So I've only been drinking for like 5-something hours. Nothing too crazy before going on to the internet live.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So there's talk of a 12-game season or an 8 or 9-game season.
Whatever.
Which do you think is more important? Is it important to have a 12-game season, or is it just let's get the conferences played out and see where it goes?
I would be fine with an 8-game season, honestly. 12 games is great. We need the money. So if we can get to it, do 12. If not, 8. But under no circumstances, 0.
Do you think that maybe the P5s do their conference only schedule, and then the G5s still play their FCS game or something? Or is the NCAA is going to come down and say, no, the Power 5 has made their decision. This is what we're doing. It's an 8 or it's a 9-game conference schedule. Figure it out and go about it. We're talking about hypotheticals.
I don't know, Ryan. You're more versed in the NCAA rules. What do you think?
No, I'm not. They just make shit up as they go. So, just like everybody else, right? So I'm not confident. I think I'm confident that they will do whatever is in their own best interest, which will probably be more games. And that might be more games with fewer fans in attendance type of thing, you just games and nobody's there because the team is right. I don't know, but I think they'll probably play 12 games.
Do you think that matchups would actually change? Maybe the out-of-conference matchups change to be more regionally based or something? So or maybe Bama doesn't want to play us now, and we do a home and home with ECU or something, or just we actually may not be playing the same teams we think we may be playing. Like, is that a possibility?
Yeah, I don't see that. I think it's too soon to even be speculating, just because like
No, Ryan. We have weeks and weeks of episodes to record between now and then, so we're going to speculate as much as we possibly can with now and then. So everyone's best Panther Talk buddy,
shut down.
everyone's best Panther Talk bud, Panthersville, was talking to me over the past week, and he had a suggestion which I think is awesome. Is we just do an in-state round robin. So it would be Georgia, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, and Georgia Southern would all play a home and home with each other.
So I mean,
I guess you could throw Kennesaw State and Mercer in there.
Cool. I mean, it's cool story, bro. Like, what fantasy land is he living in that he thinks that anyone's going to agree to that?
No, if I had suggested that and it was from anybody other than Panthersville, would you be shooting it down as quickly as you are?
Yeah, no, we've been best buds lately.
Can we add Valdosta to that mix?
No,
we'd probably lose to Valdosta, man. Come on, dude.
They're a powerhouse, I've heard.
We're talking about Valdosta High School, because that's going to be rough.
Valdosta State.
Valdosta State.
They have more flags than Statesboro, don't they? Doesn't Valdosta have more flags than Statesboro?
I don't know.
How would this round robin work? Like, is it at the end of the season? Is it?
No, I'm talking about if they're going to shut down football, or if they're trying to find a way to reconfigure football, I guess schools play their most regionally viable programs. So you do a state of Georgia round robin, and it'd be a home and home for every school.
Aren't we closer to Auburn than we are Valdosta?
Well, yeah.
So we're talking regional and like closeness. Like we'll go ahead.
It depends on how long it takes you to exit off of the interstate or just stay on the interstate the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that even make sense? I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it works. I think it's one interstate that goes straight through.
No, it's I think you take 20 and it's like right off the highway. Oh, sorry guys.
No, Auburn's not off of 20. Auburn's off of 85.
My bad. I thought I knew.
Yeah. Yeah, get a map.
When we play UAB first, right? They're closer.
I think that the comment was just doing a whole Georgia round robin type thing, which I thought would be kind of cool because it means we get to play Georgia twice that season. We play in Athens, and we get them to come to Georgia State Stadium, and then we get our Tech home and home happens, several years earlier. We already played Southern, screw those guys, whatever. But 2 chances to beat them in 1 year than beating them once. So I think again, intern Weaver hitting the highlights. Valdosta was the Division II champs recently. So yeah, I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them.
Hard pass.
No, we played it.
What if we beat them? Are we the D2 champs?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would totally wear that badge of honor. D2, we'll get Georgia State D2 champs printed up if we beat Valdosta State. If we beat Valdosta State, it depends on whether or not that we play them here or there. I'm sure they have the hometown advantage down there.
We up on the stadium. You put a sign, right?
Yeah, right there with our 3 bowl appearances. I gave 2 before, but I guess they probably put the 3rd one up there. They will before the next season. We'll put their D2 champions. After winning 3 bowl games, we're the D2 champs.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Something else they were talking about in the article was if college football started in October, November, there could be a break in the middle of it over the 2 semesters, going in from the fall semester into the winter semester, spring semester, what it's called. But I don't know why would there necessarily need to be a break. College basketball plays right through without a problem with no students on campus, unless you just want to take off the week of Christmas just because. But I would love to watch football on Christmas and New Year's. I mean, more football on Christmas and New Year's.
I'd be all about that.
Because I think Christmas and New Year's follow on a Friday. Weaver, check that out for us.
They are on Friday.
And on Friday, so we could get still Saturday games, 26th and 2nd games. I'm okay with that. I guess my question is I don't understand why they thought there'd need to be a break for it. If we have basketball games that happen during the exact same weeks, why can't we have football games?
I think, why not, right?
Yeah.
Just because students are out of campus, you can still play football.
I oh, oh. That was all from that article that I had. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Well, there was the group of five ADs all asked, or all group of five conferences all asked NCAA to lax the requirements for what it means to be a D1 program or a FBS program, so that maybe they could drop some other sports or something like that. Hey, Ryan, if you want to drop off, just drop off, and don't need to badger me about it in the chat, all right? We'll see you back here in a minute, dude. Hopefully you can stop downloading things in the background. Turn off your BitTorrent things and your other random stuff.
Pornhub.
Hey, Randy, thanks for joining us. We got a Texas State fan out here. All right. Thanks for watching, Randy. We hear him laughing as he goes. It's like the most Joker thing ever. You just hear him laugh and he leaves the chat. But anyhow, so Tim, the G5 commissioners asked the NCAA to relax requirements on being an FBS program. One of those was the number of sports that they have to be required.
Right.
The NCAA came down and said, no, we're not going to do it. We're going to require, everything's going to be upfront, which is the way the article like kind of leads you to believe. But if you go to read it, what it says is they're not going to make a blanket acceptance. It's going to be a waiver by waiver request. So a school can submit and say, hey, we want to change this or suspend swimming for 2 seasons until we can get back into the black on everything. So I don't think that really hurt. I think pretty much every one of those will probably get approved, right? Unless you're a huge money making G5, like what's the biggest G5 program? Like
UCF or something like that, right?
UCF,
they're
Memphis,
pretty high up there.
One of those type thing. Yeah, or even when the naval or the military academies, you're not going to deny the military academies the ability to play or something like that. So that's kind of I don't think it has that big of an impact. I think that you're still going to probably approve all of those as they come through, unless just someone's being stupid about, like, oh, we're going to drop all female sports for 5 years, and then no, that's going to be shot down.
Are you shocked the NCAA said no? Like you have to keep all your sports, and you have to apply.
Well, so here's the problem.
The
problem. I think what it was Georgia State's name was included in that list, and so the NCAA said, oh no, we have a blanket no policy to Georgia State, so we're just going to say no to it and be gone with the whole deal. But yeah, so there's 16 sports required to you have to have 16 sports to be FBS, 14 sports to be FCS, and then 10 sports to be Division II. So I think that no one's probably dropping all the way to Division II. I just don't see him having to drop that many sports to do it. It's possible, though. Apparently, and I stole this because I steal everything. I don't do any research, and I haven't have an original thought in my head. Except for my conspiracy theory about the NCAA being behind all the coronavirus.
That's quite the theory, by the way.
Yeah, it's legit. Prove me wrong. Get that. Was it the Louder with Crowder meme going on? Get a picture of me on there. Prove me wrong. So on the Sunbelt board or whatever, they were saying, University of New Orleans dropped from Division I to Division III after Katrina because they realized how bad it was to be in New Orleans, but they built their way back up to Division I. I guess the way the thread was going on there, where they're kind of talking about if there are schools in jeopardy of dropping to FCS or even to Division II, maybe because we're looking at maybe a conference realignment kind of thing. That's what we're hoping for, is a big, huge, ginormous conference realignment.
Yeah.
What could happen is they could basically create a new conference. There are schools that have to drop back with like an automatic admission back into FBS or Division I once they get their finances back in order again, which would be awesome, I think.
I mean, obviously I thought, a realignment's coming anyway, right? With my comments today to our State of Atlanta Patreon thread.
Our Patreon group chat, yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be the impetus for a realignment of conferences, and it's going to become more geographical, and more peer institutions. And we'll be in a conference with UAB. But we can save that for later if you want.
Yeah, I think that we'll talk about the UAB pickup or the home and home with them. I agree. I think that as long as Charlie Cobb can keep the athletics program, running along, there are going to be a lot of changes that could come out of all this throughout all of college sports. But I think Georgia State may be one of the programs that's going to come out on top. I could see. I don't know if there's any American Conference teams that are really going to suffer dramatically from this. There'll definitely be some Conference USA teams, but I could definitely see a mix-up of the conferences that gets more geographically, kind of like we talked about last week with the kind of the merger of Conference USA and the Sun Belt. And yeah, there could be a shakeup that could get us in some better programs to play, more fun programs to play, and closer programs to play, which would be great for road trips and everything. Ryan's back. Stop talking about him.
Ryan's moved.
Yeah, that's the best part about it is we could have talked about Ryan the entire time. If I didn't say anything, we know he'll never go back and rewatch or listen to the episode, so he would never have any idea about what we said about him.
I don't care what you say about me.
I know you don't. All right, so John says Boise State. Boise State is a program that could drop down, you think, John? Or are you just shouting out team
top
names?
Top budget.
Oh, top budget. Really, yeah. Boise State's the top G5 budget?
Yeah, they're pretty much they're a P5. They're a P6er, right?
Well, they definitely deserve.
They're just not in the P6.
Yeah, well, they were riding high with their Big East invitation, and then the Big East was like, well, we don't want to be a conference anymore that includes football, so sayonara, boys.
I'm gonna show the beer that I'm now drinking.
What's you got there?
Stay Gold. So good. Since I got the shamefulness of drinking the Miller Lite, I had to upgrade.
So, what is the Stay Gold?
It's IPA, 6% alcohol. It's kind of a collaboration with Run the Jewels. So
I picked up a Creature Comfort collaboration with Allagash. I forget the name of the beer was, but it's a charity beer. Like the money goes to charity.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, I picked up my Pabst collaboration with delicious beer.
Well, you know what? I think Ryan's the only one drinking an award-winning beer.
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about Stay Gold, but you see this ribbon right here? That's a real award. That's a real award.
Hey, Ryan, you know how we talk about no one cares about Southern's 6 lower-level flags for their wins? Yeah, you're talking about a championship that was won
1893, buddy. 1893.
Exactly. Over a century ago, That's before they even had real beer.
Every time I have a beer, it wins in my heart.
Yeah, you should, like a proper Southern fan. I still go back to whatever the episode title was, that Ryan's a Southern fan.
I am a little concerned, though. Ryan only has 12-ouncer. What's going on there?
I buy 2 12-packs at a time right now. So
money's tight right now. You never know when that next paycheck's coming.
What do you need from me? I don't know what you want from me. I'm supposed to buy a bunch of tall boys. That's too much to
we
carry.
have everything we need from you right now. Your video quality and your audio quality are coming through.
So much better, right? I'm right next to my router now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about
Izzy might come in out of nowhere, but that's fine.
Nah, it's fine. That's her story, though, right? Yeah. She came out of nowhere. So we were talking about is the possibility of some of these programs having to drop to FCS or possibly even Division II, and how it could affect the realignment. We have a realignment going on that we were not expecting whatsoever at all coming out of this whole thing, right?
You think so? I don't think so.
Go back and listen to it. You can hear all of our thoughts about it.
Yeah, no, I think that's baloney. That's not happening.
You don't think any programs will drop? You don't think Monroe will drop?
Not anytime soon. And I think that what'll end up happening is somebody will think that they're being altruistic and help them out, and they'll get floated alone and they'll stay where they want to stay. And
if the LA Lakers can get a small business loan, why can't Louisiana Monroe, right?
I mean, they legitimately probably qualify as a small business, like with their revenue.
Yeah, well, pretty much every college athletics department could operate as a business. Just some are nonprofit. They're not making anything on it whatsoever at all.
It depends on how you quantify it, right? If you say it's like number of employees, it's probably pretty low. for a lot of programs.
Oh, I don't care about that kind of specifics. That's like stats, man. I'm not a stats man.
But you don't want to talk about accounting. I mean, because we can talk about spreadsheets with red and black and.
Yeah, we see. Leave it to the guy from Athens to bring up red and black whenever he freaking can. Ooh, kill myself there.
Whoa.
I don't know. Facebook might kick you out, man. They might be done.
I didn't say it. There was a interview with Mark Becker about what's going on with all of this stuff right now. Was it 11 Alive, WSBT? I don't know. Javita Moore. Which channel is Javita Moore on?
Who watches TV, dude? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it on the internet. Anyhow, but Becker gave a little bit of insight. He says his goal is still to have students on campus in fall, maybe doing larger courses online, and the smaller course, the hands-on, the labs and stuff, still be in person with restrictions and everything. But he's still operating on trying to get the campus to be fully open. I say fully.
My little brother texted me right before we came on, asking me about housing options and like whether or not the commons are close to campus. And I was like, yeah, that's walkable or whatever. But also do Aspen Heights because you'll be 2 blocks from my house. You might have to take the shuttle, but like do Aspen Heights.
Yeah, and if you're in Aspen Heights, it's all the athletes. They're getting tested every day over there.
Yeah, they're safe, man. You're good over there.
Actually, didn't you say there's testing going on in the blue lot?
Yeah. So I drove by the blue lot the other day, and I saw some National Guard people out there in like a tent, and they had COVID-19 testing. So they started, I think, on Saturday or Sunday doing drive-through testing. And I guess you have to download some like Augusta State University app that lets you do some kind of online virtual screening, and then they'll set you up with I guess they just pre-approve you. You don't have to set a time that you go or anything. You just drive through. It's been dead. There's been nobody there. So I imagine you just drive up.
Well, I mean, does anybody know about it?
So I Googled it, and it actually was a struggle. I found some local news talking about it. But they said that they expect to do like 260 tests an hour or something. Like, there's no way that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I think I read an article on it was maybe AJC that there's actually testing at Georgia State, and they said there was no one there getting tested. Like,
you still have to qualify, so that's the problem.
All right, Ryan, we're going to need you to go down there and get tested and just kind of do a little man on the street type thing for us.
Yeah,
I would try, but I bet they'd turn me away because I don't have any symptoms. I mean, I'm coughing a little bit.
You were coughing like crazy just 6 weeks ago.
I'm still coughing every now and again. But
there you go.
Perfect. Yeah. Symptoms.
It takes more. I was still like taking my I still have been jogging 3 times a week. I have no shortness of breath, nothing.
Oh, aren't you, Mr. Fancy Pants?
Darn right.
What else did he say? I don't know why I went through this. It's just apparently I was really bad at sorting my notes today.
We're only live. It's fine.
Oh, he did say that they have more freshmen this year than last year. Like, they're still increasing their enrollment year after year. So I think I actually stopped watching or listening to the interview. This was when my computer was getting repaired and it got done, so it just kind of stopped halfway through there. But anywho, you guys got anything else about how coronavirus is impacting college sports or whatever?
Not really.
Yeah, good. You guys have brought nothing to the table. Appreciate it.
Wait,
all right,
I just told you all about how I knew about the drive-in testing. I brought a ton to the table.
Yeah, you literally gave us nothing about it whatsoever at all.
Wow.
And even what you said was you disagree with what they said. 260 in an hour? Yeah, it's not happening.
That's because I was the man on the street. I drove by, and there was no way 260 people were going through there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are they doing the test there on the spot, like right there? Are they going to be?
Yeah, it's a tent.
Or is it like they take the people that go through there all day long and then they can process 260 at a time in 1 hour?
I don't think so. But they're doing the swabs, so they're jamming them into your nose, like all the way back to your brain.
Yeah, I saw the picture of like the drawing of it. Like, it goes all the way back and like tickles your back of your brain and stuff.
Yeah, like your arm just starts wigging because like they.
Exactly. Yeah, like, there's just like parts of your body start tingling because they're touching different parts of the brain. Yeah, it looks weird. Like that's how people like swallow swords and weird stuff and pull strings to their nose out of their mouth and. Yeah,
I think I would punch somebody in the face if they jammed a swab that far into my brain.
But do you think those kind of weird feelings one of those weird feelings, like there's like nerves that have never been touched before. And you're kind of like, where is that coming from? That's a weird, messed up kind of, yeah. Maybe we should just go and do it for fun.
It won't let you, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I can cough.
They're about to relax
bro.
all that, though. I think.
What?
You got to pay for it? You got to pay
the
for it?
So we have plenty of tests now. Like, they're going to relax the, like, standards for actually getting to do a test soon.
Oh, that's good.
I want tests. I want instant tests. I want tests every day. I want, like,
they make them.
If I walk up to somebody and they say hello, I can like test them and it goes back immediately. Like, all right, you're cool. Now I can talk to you. Otherwise, move along.
I don't want to get too political or anything, but they make them.
All right, well, they'll move on to the next subject.
They make them here.
All right, what is your political statement for the day?
They're not allowed to sell them. They're not approved for sale in America, so they export them all. But they have 15-minute, like, prick your finger and you're good.
I'll do that all day. That's easy.
I got 10 fingers. I can do like 10 times in a row.
I hate needles, so I'm sort of like maybe jam the swab into my brain, but
no,
needles don't bother me.
I'd rather do the needle test. Like,
I would be
a little prick of blood.
This is why if I were to try drugs and it was fun, I'd have no problem. Needles don't bother me at all. I could do needles all day long.
Hate them.
I went with a friend who was doing a nursing exam and like she needed a test doing IVs and I don't think she even made it into nursing. She was not good. She just poked my arm all day long and couldn't find a vein.
I really wish we'd stop talking about this now. Let's move on. What's the next thing on the agenda?
Well, the big news of the day was that Georgia State football announced 4 games with Birmingham, with UAB, with the Dragons.
Just 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ryan. Tim, what was your first comment on the whole thing?
Basketball? What?
No. Well, sorry. What was your second comment on the whole thing?
Oh, future.
I didn't want to make you look that stupid talking about basketball.
Future conference mate when the whole conference G5.
Oh yeah, see, now you get a qualifier now. You're like future conference mate. I'm like, I don't want to go to Conference USA. That conference sucks.
So I don't go to Conference USA.
I don't know anything about this. You said 4 games. It's not like a home and home. It's like 2 home and homes. What is it?
Exactly. It's 2 home and homes. So we do. We are home 2027 and 29, and then we're in Birmingham 28 and 30. So
all right,
we're talking 7 and 10 years away from now is this range.
Yeah, but that's like I think you and I at least have been talking about this for a long time. How good it would be just to play UAB every year, right? Like that's a good program. Them in like Charlotte, right? We should play them.
Natural regional rival type stuff. I agree, and I think UAB was actually on our schedule when before they shuttered football. Oh, and that was a home and home as well, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw this, immediately love it. I love playing UAB. That's
2.5 hour drive, right? You can't beat that.
It's one of those kind of things. It can be a day away game. You drive a couple hours out there. Plenty of time to tailgate, unless they do like a noon or 11 a.m. start or something. But it's an hour behind, so you get that extra hour on your way there. Even if it's a night game, not a long drive back. Honestly, the drive back from Birmingham to Atlanta for a night game could be just like the traffic of getting out of downtown Atlanta and making it to the burbs.
Yeah, but I live
Saturday
2
night.
blocks from the stadium, so it's fine.
Talking about our fans that live far away. But.
I mean, honestly, Birmingham's not like a booming metropolis or anything, so hotel rooms are probably pretty cheap.
Sure.
Yeah, I went up there for a buddy's 40th birthday party last year, and they got some great breweries out in Birmingham now. We actually had a great time. I came home from that birthday party, which is effectively a bachelor party because it was nothing but all the guys going, and I came back with a bloodied up leg, and I lost my wedding ring. So
you had a good time.
To be fair, I lose my wedding ring like all the time. I've lost my wedding ring so many times. At this point, it's just an Amazon like free with shipping kind of thing from China. So
just order yourself like 20 of them, and you can lose them.
That's actually what I'm wearing right now. When I lost it, and the hotel room I was sharing with my buddy, I'm like, where the hell's my ring? And he's like, oh crap, we can go find it. I'm like, I've got more at home. My wife bought a bunch of the last time I lost my ring, she bought a bunch of them. And then the funny thing is I had that cheap ring for the longest I had any of my other ones. And then, yeah. So, Birmingham's fun. I think
Birmingham's got a lot of good breweries, and like even Monday Night Brewing is building a brewery there in Birmingham. So,
why would I do that? Why would I do that? I have 2 Monday Night Brewers here.
Well,
it's an option out there.
To see how their water tastes different.
Yeah.
Side note, did you, to geek out a little bit, did you notice that Monday Night Brewing's website or their domain is monday.pm?
No, that's good though.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Funny.
That's clever.
I like that.
It's clever. It's good.
Somebody thought of that. By the way, after I saw that, I looked up to see if .atl was a domain extension, and I can't get state.of.atl. It doesn't exist.
Are you sure? Because I thought like anything exists.
No, there's a lot of them, but there's not all of them.
Oh, so. All right.
But no, the Birmingham thing, I think that's awesome. I hate how far away it is, but that's the way college football is. For whatever reason, they schedule games out from when your kids are going to be, teenagers driving cars, moving out. Like, yeah, right? Exactly.
Yay!
It's one of the kind of things, like when this game finally comes, this 2027 game finally comes about, like, I'll be like, all right, I remember talking about this game back when I was in my 40s, and now I'm 50.
Whoa.
Speak for yourself. I always forget how much older you are than me. I think I say that every time.
I'll be 49. So
okay, you're good. Yeah, I would Ryan stay in Birmingham when we have the game. Why not? Hotels are probably damn dirt cheap.
I think I've stayed in Birmingham when we played in Tuscaloosa because Tuscaloosa sucked. They were like full, and then we were like, well, let's just get to Birmingham and then we'll stay in a hotel there. And
I actually drove back that night. That was miserable.
Well, I think we tried to, and then we got to Birmingham and we were like, nah, we're staying. We're just stopping here and sleeping.
Well, which is convenient to be able to have the ability to do that. So John, the intern, is saying that the Children's Museum in Birmingham is way better than the Children's Museum.
Let's do that. Let's actually go, and instead of tailgating, we'll go to the Children's Museum.
So what we'll do is we'll just drop the kids off at the Children's Museum, and we'll come back. Well, I was going to say 4 hours later, but that's the game. We'll come back like 8 hours later. We'll go tailgate for 3 hours, go to the game for 4 hours, then 1 hour of post-game drinking in the parking lot before picking the kids up.
You just show up to the Children's Museum, you say, is this daycare? And then walk away.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was some toolbag who writes for AL.com, Evan Dudley, who tweeted about the matchup, saying the Battle of I-20, Georgia State Panthers playing against UAB, first game in Georgia Southern Stadium.
That's like double mistake, right?
No, Ryan. If you've not seen this yet, it gets better.
Okay.
So he gets ripped on Twitter for this, where he's you got it wrong, whatever. He says, I'm too lazy to delete it and because in Twitter you can't edit a tweet. I'm too lazy to delete and retweet it, but I didn't change it because I got it right in the article anyways. So he left it up. How lazy, how horrible.
How do you get it right in one place, right?
Can I report it? Is there a way to report this?
Yeah,
who is it?
I guess.
Where is this?
What's his name?
Evan Dudley.
Evan Dudley. All right.
Evan Dudley. Yeah, he took some flack for it, and Ben and him got into it. Ben obviously coming out on the winning side of that. Even the Georgia Southern fans were like laughing at like I was expecting them to make comments with the Paulson Stadium North or whatever, but the Georgia Southern fans were like, there's not even such thing as a Georgia Southern Stadium. It's because they got their whatever they call that practice field they have down there.
So what are we going to report here, Ryan? Is it suspicious or spam, abusive or harmful, misleading about a political election, or expresses intentions of self-harm?
Oh, I don't know. It's definitely hate mongering.
It's abusive or harmful, right?
There you go. It's offensive. It's hate speech.
Oh, now you got to answer why it's harmful. Disrespectful or offensive?
Yeah, that one.
Or targeted harassment?
Oh,
Targeted
God.
harassment. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, everyone that's watching, you need to go report this post.
What an idiot.
It says, who is Dudley targeting?
Yeah, someone else.
Me or someone else? I'm going to say me.
You specifically. So I went and looked at our future schedules after this UAB announcement, and so we still have a 2023 home slot and a 2024 away slot available, which is perfect for a home and away if we can find somebody who matches up with it. So I went to go look and to see if we just messed up or whatever, and to see if UAB had an availability that matched that. We could have played these games sooner. Did not. They had availability for one, but not the other. So that's fine. So we didn't delay the game at all. But I decided to go look and see who else may be able to fit this spot. Georgia does not. But Tennessee does.
Ooh,
Tennessee has an open away slot in 23 and a home slot in 24. Do you think they're ready for a rematch?
No.
Also,
we're not either. We just need to let it go.
The order it would be is they would actually come to Atlanta the first, and then we'd go back up there the following year.
I think we just end it 1-1 and call it a day. We never play Tennessee again, and we just keep that record.
Yeah, well, what you're saying is they're scared. They're scared. We're not scared. They're the ones that are scared.
We could have let Athletics toy with them and just like, hey, we have an opening. You want to play? And just list it out.
We should totally announce it. Yeah, go get out there and do a Twitter campaign like Georgia State Athletics. Be like, hey guys, we have an opening. We'll come down. You guys come down here. We'll head up there. That would be a well-attended game. That would be a well-attended game for Georgia State. I mean, for Georgia State fans, like they'd be like they would want to see it happen again.
Right. We'd have to open the upper deck though, for sure.
Oh yeah. So that was
like literally the entire upper deck. Just you could sit in the nosebleeds and have lights in the way. You can still watch the game.
Well, it makes sense to put the Tennessee fans up there because they could feel like they're on their silly little Rocky Top thing, like way up in the air in the mountains. And
I mean, our stadium is 10 times better than theirs. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God,
crappy that stadium is.
That's an insult to Georgia State Stadium to say that. It's way better than that piece of crap dump of concrete.
My error was that I said 10 times, and negative times a positive is a negative. So
there you go. Yeah.
So
but I looked at a couple other schools, and UCF would fit that.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
I would do that.
I'm in on that. Way more. Yeah.
Definite future conference mate right there. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. former conference mates as well.
And
Yeah, so I would like to see if we can maybe. So I think there was some schools have done or fan bases have done like Twitter campaigns to get two teams to play each other. Like we should totally just be like start some kind of like hashtag thing to get Central Florida to play Georgia State in 2023 and 2024.
We need to get our Barstool guy.
Barstool GSU.
Yeah, whatever Barstool UCF most likely.
Probably Barstool UCF. Yeah.
Along with Georgia State Athletics and UCF Athletics.
Let's get
start that little war up there.
Let's get something. I want to see the there's some kind of Knights, right? Knights or something.
Yeah, the Golden Knights. The Golden Showers.
Golden Showers.
Whoa! Woo. Things got weird.
Yeah, this game is sponsored by Claremont Lounge.
You grew up in Florida, man, you made fun of UCF. That was the thing. But now you don't.
The UCF 30 years ago is way different than the UCF today.
The UCF even in like 98 through 2003 was different.
Well, yeah, they started football in the 90s, right?
They did, but lower division. They weren't serious about it. They got serious all of a sudden. Honestly, if we could just take all the athletics people that did that and put them in our department, just swap.
Well, I think that when we first started football, that was one of the things they said that UCF was one of the programs they were modeling. And I'm like, well, you failed.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see that side-by-side comparison because I don't feel like you guys did that.
Yeah, no, not so much. I don't think we kind of followed the same line.
UCF, USF, we didn't follow either of those very well.
Yeah, USF was good for a hot minute too. So that let me start thinking like, what are the teams that out of conference teams you would like to play? Like, what are the schools out there? And there's obviously everyone wants us to play UGA, but I'm talking about like what schools are we going to play that would be either just a fun in a home and a home situation. What would be a school you're going to play in a fun home and a home situation? One that we must possibly have a chance to win or something like that. Like what schools do you think it would be cool that we should try to get on the schedule that we've not played already? Do you guys have any thoughts in mind?
I mean, the people who I was most excited to join Sunbelt for, which is Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, who does not fit your criteria because we've already played them and beat them.
In the bowl game.
FIU, FAU, I'd like to see us play all those teams that I was excited to see us play in the first place.
Yeah, I do have. I broke it down by conference because I got a bunch of them. But yeah, I definitely have Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky. I was actually forgetting that we played Western Kentucky. Did we play Middle Tennessee? Middle Tennessee was gone before we played them, right?
We never played Middle Tennessee, and we never played Western Kentucky except for a bowl. They left at the same time.
And we did play them in basketball though.
Yeah.
No, Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky are two programs I think I would like to see us play because of how close they are, and those, depending on the year, could be winnable games.
Yeah,
for us, they should be. They should be competitive games either way. We're kind of the same level at this point of those programs.
Well, and they're both trips to Nashville. Like you just stay there overnight and hang out there because like they're both about the same distance from Nashville.
Intern John is letting us know that Western Kentucky smoked us in the dome, so that kills that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. They did smoke us.
He also says that we need to play Jacksonville State 3 times, and I agree because we need to get to parity with Jacksonville State. I wasn't including FCS programs in here because I'm honestly scared of playing FCS programs.
Oh, that's bad memories. Do we have to talk about them?
You know what? That was a great away game to go to, though. Like I know we lost and there were some problems there, but I enjoyed the drive there. I enjoyed did I hang out with you guys there? I mean, David, I don't think
you and I hang out together. I think that was the first. Well, you and I knew each other before that, and we'd hung out and tailgated before that. But I think that was the first time we tailgated together. Like,
yeah. We had a good time there, and it was like a nice. I thought the stadium was like nice and compact, and like I don't know, it felt like
easy to get to, and
yeah.
And as far as that game goes, how many other college football fans can say they were at a game when their quarterback kicked the ball, So that was a memorable experience right there. Yeah. So other schools, I was thinking, Tim, did you have any schools that you wanted to see us play?
I mean, if you're going for P5, probably Auburn. I know we have them on the schedules.
They're on the schedule already. Don't count them.
No, I mean we've played all the regional teams that I'd want to play or have them on the schedule. Other than Georgia, obviously, and we have Georgia Tech.
I would like to play in no specific order. For selfish reasons, I would love to see us play Virginia Tech.
I have no desire. That would not do anything for me.
If you've never been to Blacksburg, is awesome. It's so much fun.
I probably still wouldn't go.
It's a killer college town. It's a lot of fun, and they travel well. So if we're talking about a home and a home, we'd get a good fan base coming to Atlanta as well. They show up pretty well for their Georgia Tech game every other year.
Yeah, they're used to coming to Atlanta. So
yeah, especially if we schedule it on an off year from Georgia Tech, so we're not coming to Atlanta twice.
Sure.
I think it'd be good. Again, also for selfish reasons, Syracuse. That'd be cool, but that's because my wife's family lives in Syracuse, so I got a place to stay when I go up there. And I got
I've got family up there too.
When they come down here, it'd be cool. And to a lesser extent, Virginia would be good. Then there's also some schools I would want to go to just for the trip, like Miami or Boston College or
Hawaii,
even Pitt. Yeah, I have Hawaii on there as well. Hawaii out of the Mountain West, Hawaii or UNLV, but there's no other reason we should schedule Hawaii or UNLV other than to get a Hawaii or Las Vegas trip out of it.
So is Colorado in Denver? I know Colorado State, I think, is in
Colorado's in Boulder, right?
oh, maybe. Colorado Springs is where Colorado State is, right?
Yeah, I think University of Colorado is in Boulder.
Okay. Never mind.
I would play Duke or North Carolina. Those are potential wins, right?
Well, we have North Carolina on the schedule. We have North Carolina on the schedule.
We could, we could beat them, and it's a cool college town.
Chapel Hill's great.
I agree.
Chapel Hill's great.
Yeah,
I have them listed on there. I like them. Duke, obviously, another one because that's a P5 program that we could potentially beat on any given Saturday.
Exactly.
Durham is not great though, but you could always stay in Chapel Hill.
Right. Duke is not the game we want to play because of the trip. That's the game we want to play just to beat a P5 program.
Right. We already did that. We're good. We're good.
So I was going through the conferences, looking at schools and everything, and then the one I got to, Pac-12, zero interest in playing any Pac-12 schools at home and at home. Just
none.
Back when I was looking at recruiting, I always thought it was funny how much we competed with Purdue. And I think that could probably be a fun game because if we beat them, we would win some major recruiting battles that we lose. So
then we have recruiting battles in Indiana, really?
It's weird. They offer a lot of the same type of people we do.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that as far as like what schools in that kind of region, Midwest, whatever it's called, area that they would want to come play us, but I couldn't find anybody. And Notre Dame, I just ignored completely because again, personal reasons. I don't like them.
Purdue would want to. I don't know what it looks like today, but a few years ago, it was like literally every single recruit I was looking at was like had offers from Purdue as well.
Plus, Purdue is where Drew Brees went, and as nice of a guy that he may be, screw that guy for playing for the Saints. So no, I don't want to play. I don't want to play Drew Brees' team ever.
I would, I'd play USF. They have some good breweries over there in Tampa and St. Pete.
Yeah, USF's not that bad. I mean, really, it's kind of hard to turn down any Southern Florida school or any Florida school for that matter, to be at for the most part.
Right.
A chance to get down there, especially if it's like later in the season and you get a chance to get out of a colder, wetter climate to some Southern Florida stuff.
Yeah, we haven't said Florida State though, have we?
I actually
let's play them. They're terrible right now. Let's play them.
Florida State on there, but like, who wants to go to Tallahassee?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Nobody wants to do that. So
yeah, I've got no interest. And then SEC schools, we've either played or scheduled the SEC schools that we want to play, other than Georgia. I don't want to go to Gainesville.
It's a pretty easy drive.
But
it's sort of in the middle of nowhere.
Right? Just like the women there. Yeah, pretty easy. So, any other schools that you'd want to play some football games against?
Nah. Yeah. Tulane. Just kidding.
Wait, who'd you say?
Tulane. Just kidding.
Tulane, I would like to play.
Eventually, you're going to have to play them, David.
I had them written down. One, we get to beat up on a Southern coach again, and two, we have the Ron Hunter connection there. So
future conference mate. 3.
Yeah, that would be a future conference mate. Unfortunately,
how are you going to handle that? We'd have to play Tulane in basketball and football. Would you protest the game when we play Tulane basketball here and football?
Well, I don't protest when the Falcons play the Saints here. I just don't want to go. I just don't want to go to the game. I don't like it at all. So, in other news, the Georgia State 10-year football documentary came out on draft day.
Yeah, did you watch it?
I did. I watched it on Saturday. I didn't watch it on Thursday. I didn't watch it on Friday.
The final rounds of the draft were on Saturday, man. You didn't finish?
I watched it around 8 or 9 o'clock on Saturday, so the draft was well done, and the undrafted free agents were already selected, which we'll talk about later. But did you guys both watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I did not.
It was shocking. I am blown away that Ryan did not watch this whatsoever at all.
It does always seem to be me, doesn't it?
All right, Prue Benson is all about a Tulane game for a NOLA trip. I don't think I know who Prue Benson is, but no one wants to go to New Orleans, dude. Come on, man. No one wants to go there. That place sucks. Too many Saints fans and Tulane fans. But to the documentary, it wasn't really supposed to be a documentary. It was what we found out after the fact. It was supposed to be like a pre-game video or a in-game video for the football season, this past football season, which I don't know why it didn't air, why it wasn't played. They just kind of put it together to make this 10-year documentary. So, yeah, I don't know. Tim, what did you think of it? Did you like it?
I thought it was good. I thought they needed to add some to the end for the season we just had. Beating Tennessee, stuff like that. Probably there wasn't – it was fair in the sense that it talked about, struggles with getting fans to come to games, and it talked about our struggles winning, and it goes hand in hand.
I feel like they glossed over that kind of stuff. That was the one thing that I felt like they really glossed over was there were some throwaway comments about having not won a lot of games. Like Will Lutz kind of said, yeah, we hadn't won a lot before that.
Right.
And whatever. But so I want to say, well, one, Tim asked me, I'm really anxious to hear what your thoughts are on this. And so I messaged him my thoughts about it after I watched it. And I haven't heard from Tim until today. He hasn't told me anything at all. So I'm first time I'm hearing it from him. First of all, I think the production quality was exceptional. Great production quality. Yeah. It was fantastic. It was really, really good, which most of the stuff that comes out from the school is pretty good. So I thought that was good. But yeah, they finished recording. Everything was produced before the 2019 season started, which is fine. But after 2019 happens and you wait a full season, release it, maybe you could adjust a few things or do a few things. Because I think how cool it would have been. You're talking about 10 years of a program. You have Coach Bill Curry out there talking about having to buy the football. Actually, it was his wife talking about buying a football just to do the press conference interview because we didn't even own a football. If they would have shown those near wins or those somewhat competitive P5 games, like talk about all the losses, talk about the Lambeth loss, talk about how much we struggled growing up as a program, but then show that near Wisconsin win. That was it. Either the tied Oregon game going to half or whatever it was, and
the Oregon game
was like 0-0. Washington. You talk about some of those and kind of keep on emphasizing how close we were to beating that P5 program.
Sure.
And then in the whole series with the upset game against Tennessee, and kind of discard the rest of the season maybe and say that it was a third bowl season.
Kind of bookend the whole story.
Right. I think it would have really, if you're trying to use this as an uplifting, powerful kind of deal for it. And I enjoyed it. It's Georgia State. I enjoyed it. They could have talked about how bad we sucked the entire time. I sort of liked it because it's a Georgia State product. But I think they got a chance to really end on a super uplifting note if they sort of added some footage of that Tennessee game, the Army win, and then go into a bowl game for the third time. There was a missed opportunity, I guess.
They could just be like Tiger King and add an episode. Done.
You'd be doing what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Be like Tiger King and add an episode at the end. Done.
We'll get Joel McHale to come on there and do a last season roundup.
Exactly.
There was one, and we may talk about that, or I may talk about the documentary more in the later episodes, or maybe do a breakdown thing on each of the chapters or something. I don't know. But one of the things that they said in there, I heard in there, which I had never heard before, it was almost kind of easy to miss, but they're talking about Turner Field, and Becker isn't being interviewed, and he says he was, or maybe it wasn't even Becker, it was somebody else that was with Becker. They were in D.C. doing whatever it is college presidents do and not their state, and they got a call from somebody in the city of Atlanta that said, Braves just announced they're moving. We want you to take over Turner Field. It wasn't this Georgia State thing that came out. The city of Atlanta, we all heard there's gonna be this different Margaritaville or whatever that thing was gonna be. There's all these different ideas.
Rita
World, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the city of Atlanta, it was always going to be Georgia State Stadium. That was always, when we talk about that as fans, we say it was always going to be Georgia State Stadium. But no, the city of Atlanta actually called up the president and said, this is your new home. Figure out a way to make it happen. Which I thought that was cool to hear. I never
definitely a gift from the city, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, had either of you heard that before?
No, but like I said, I felt confident enough to buy a house here because I knew that none of those other things were happening, and I knew it was like sort of in the bag for Georgia State. It wasn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I mean, I guess I wasn't like 100% sure, but like I was pretty darn sure. I invested some money in it. So
yeah, there was no way we're not getting. I mean, there'd have to be like some really weird stuff going on for Georgia State not to have got it. That was just kind of cool to hear.
yeah.
But a thing I don't get about it is it was kind of free over the weekend with a little password thing, which is freely available to everybody. But now it's like not available. It's like you can't watch it now.
Oh, really? I can't go back now?
I don't think so. So, like, I think if you go to the page now, it's just the little 2-minute trailer deal for it.
Is it not on YouTube?
So, are we waiting to like sell a DVD for this, or is it going to be on iTunes as a digital download or something? Which I'll buy either one of those. Although I would buy it.
I would buy it. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, digital download. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I think going back to the whole.
Why release it and then not just make it available unless they're going to try to sell?
Like throw it up on YouTube so you can like far-reaching. You can like expand. Yeah.
Intern John with Rita World Pearl Kingdom was the name of the opportunity.
Pearl Kingdom,
you're missing the exclamation point, which is key.
Yes,
he's got that.
No, you're missing.
John got. I did not get it. But that way, I went back and looked at that last year.
Awesome.
I think
MS Paint.
Yeah, oh yeah, and all the water. Like they were building a lagoon there. They were like just millions of tons of water they were going to pump into this whole thing.
Would it have sharks in it?
I'm going to say that I made the comment about investing in a house here, but I'm a little sad that I don't get that whatever that was, because it would have been amazing to live a block away from whatever that was.
A Pearl Kingdom.
Whatever that was.
You could have had waterfront property right there in downtown Atlanta.
It was like a lazy river, but not.
No, it was something way else worse.
Yeah. I thought the best part about us getting Turner Field was all the Southern people saying it wasn't going to happen. We're not getting it. It's never going to happen. And then it happened.
Which is funny because it was like the exact opposite conversation we'd had up to that point. They're like, you're not a real football program until you have your own stadium. And I remember Ryan's response was, the University System of Georgia owns, the state of Georgia owns Georgia Southern Stadium, just like they own Lane Stadium, or Sanford Stadium, what it's called, Sanford Stadium.
Yeah.
Just like they own the Georgia Dome. So we play in effectively the same thing, which is reaching, but I get your point.
It is, yeah.
But then also, so our response was, where are we supposed to build a stadium? Where are you going to find enough land in downtown Atlanta to build our own stadium? Renting a stadium just makes the most sense. And then Turner Field becomes available. We're like, we're going to get that. Like, nah, that won't work.
Yeah.
Why are you even trying? Like, because you said we had to have it.
Yeah, but now it's now we don't have a football only stadium. It's a retro. It's not a.
What do you mean? It is a football only stadium.
Well, it is a football only.
It's
a football only stadium, but their claim to us is that it's not built.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well,
Nothing was ever going to be good enough for them. So
right.
That means that the Braves played 25 years in a track and field stadium. So
they did.
I would say
painful.
that the Olympics and the Braves played for however many years, 25, 26 years in a football stadium.
There you go.
Didn't know it.
They had no idea.
Time. I can't argue that logic, Ryan. You're really nailing it at this point tonight. So
I'm a few more beers in. Yeah. Do you guys see my? I keep staring at my own background. Over here, my tiki. My Mexican tiki mask.
Oh yeah, you got it
awesome.
there. Yeah,
it's back there. That's always back there. It's in my background when I'm. This is where I take my business meetings during the day now too. So.
Oh, maybe
does
you
have a
guys
nice
have a camera
background
and
for
even
your
back to
Zoom
see what it
meetings.
is.
Yeah, you guys are both talking. I have no idea what you said.
Right, Tim made more sense than I did. So
it's a beautiful Zoom background for your business meetings.
Good. Yeah, there's some pictures of my baby and stuff, and some campaign stuff too.
What a friend of mine
next
did.
to the tiki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a coworker of mine did, because with the virtual Zoom backgrounds, you can actually do video as well as a picture. So what a buddy of mine did was he recorded his house while he was doing other stuff, and then he used that video as his background. So while he was on a conference call meeting with us, you saw him in the background, like cleaning stuff or watching TV or making.
That's a great idea. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I might steal that.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
go for it. Well, on basketball, there's also a big announcement yesterday. Basketball got scheduling with Kentucky, which is what confused Tim, I think, today about the UAB scheduling.
Hey, that's a good. They're good at basketball, right?
Yeah, they use our colors, so of course they did.
Yeah.
They don't use
had
black
problems
uniforms.
this year, right? This year they were having problems with like mid majors at the beginning.
Was there problems that their players stuck around for another year?
I mean, just problems beating the mid majors. I think they lost to a mid major.
Yeah, I feel like all the big guys like had losses to mid majors like early on.
Well, and Duke had a near miss with us, and then lost to like some I
know
Stephen Austin.
Frustrating. It wasn't us.
Cosmetology or something. Yeah, it was like a week. It was like a week after that game too.
Yeah. It was so close.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good get. There's a lot of distilleries around University of Kentucky that I've not been to yet, so makes for a good little road trip. But football plays, well, as of right now, football plays South Alabama the very following day. So you can't do a twofer. That's a real difficult twofer. I looked it up. It's like a 9.5 hour drive. You want to go Frankfurt's where Kentucky is, right? If you want to drive from there straight down to South Alabama.
It's not Lexington?
Oh, Lexington. That sounds better. Yeah. That sounds a lot better. It's a lot better.
Lexington.
Kentucky's huge, though.
Shout out to John. Evansville beat Duke.
Evansville. Man,
he is on it.
Yeah. And I guarantee you he looked none of this up. He just knows it.
Yeah. Hey, while you guys talk basketball, I'm taking a break.
Pee break time, yeah. When you go live, there's no pee breaks. Yeah.
Until now.
Well, this actually is a perfect time for Brian to go to the bathroom because I'm going to throw it to you, Tim, for our TBT updates. Because we know Ryan doesn't care about it whatsoever at all.
Ryan doesn't even know what the TBT is. The
TBT is... I barely know what it is. So,
yeah, it's a basketball tournament for former players, right? Alumni.
Both college and pro.
College and pro, and we have a team, Panther family, obviously, right? We haven't had any players announced until recently, which took us a while. We had one, the coach or the captain, Ryan Green, and now we have 5 other players. We got Devin Mitchell, Jordan Sessions, DeMarcus Simons, Jeff Thomas, and Kevin Ware. Up, Ryan's back. We should get done. We're still ineligible. We don't have enough players yet. We might not make it. Who knows? But hopefully we do.
We might make it to what?
To get to play.
What is the TBT?
All right. Sorry.
All right, next topic.
I had an audio malfunction with my my AirPods, so I'm now on my computer's microphone and everything. So Tim, last heard from you. Sorry, everybody. Last heard from you. Said we finally got some players on. We had one already assigned, right? We knew
we did. Ryan Green,
and
he's the general manager of the team.
And DeMarcus Simmons was already on there too, right?
No, he was. I think he talked about it, but he wasn't actually.
He had already teased. Yeah,
he teased, but we officially announced April 27th yesterday.
Wait, but we still don't have enough players, right?
No, we don't. We have 6. I think 7 appears to be kind of like the threshold to become eligible. We're still ineligible to be in the tournament. So
we figured out that's what it is. It's we need enough players on the roster to become eligible, and then we need enough supporters to make them get in there.
Right. So it's supporters. It's enough players. You have to have players, right? If you have one player, you're not going to get in.
It's probably a one-sided game in that case. But so when I signed up for it, not knowing what it was, we were like in the 60s of supporters, and I looked today, and we have 68. So we've not gotten any traction over the past few weeks.
And our region already has 6 of 8 teams eligible, so we need some more players eligible become eligible.
Who is? Do you know? Are you reaching out to any of these players to see if they'll be on the team?
I personally did not reach out, but I did reach out to the Panther team.
Tim.
And they
man,
talked
this
about,
is your thing.
I know. They talked about we're announcing soon, and they announced the 6th. 5. But
I'm excited about where. That's cool.
Can you get the address that people can go to sign up and support the team?
yeah, so if you go to thetournament.com/teams, you can search for our team, Panther Family, and sign up as a fan. And that fan support will help us potentially become eligible so long as we have enough players.
Yeah, it won't because we don't have enough players.
Oh, but we'll get some more players on there. I'm sure RJ's having his lawyers look at his contract to make sure this is something he can do.
That's definitely a player that has been talked about potentially playing.
That'd be pretty rad.
Who are the kids, the throwaway kids that we had back? That would get put in like Casey Kagels.
Tyler? Was there a Tyler?
Tyler Gamble? No.
Gamble's right.
Was it?
Yeah, Gamble. Yeah, but and like Casey Kagel's kid, whatever. The ones that you shout their names, or like, can we just get them? Can they just sign up to be on the team? Just do what they
like.
want.
We're used to this rotation, man. Just you don't have to play. It's okay. You're on the bench.
Exactly.
Just put you on the roster.
Intern John says that Malik bin Levy teased about joining the team. I'd love to see Malik on there. Hey, maybe we can get Amit to get Manny Atkins to play because they went to high school together, or at least
Jihad Ali.
Yeah,
we could Jihad. Wait, Ali.
Yeah. Tyler Gamble.
We had it. We with our powers combined, Tim.
Wow. Well, we'll take him. That'll be 7 players. We can become eligible. Enough fans, you know.
Yeah. We gotta reach out to some people and tweet them or whatever. You know, Curtis Washington was over here at the game. Why can't Curtis Washington come out and play?
I'll take it.
So so that's the tournament update. Go to tournament.com/teams.
Scheduled in July. You never know if it'll happen or not. Coronavirus. Who knows?
Push back. Maybe it'll happen and we just can't be there. But like honestly, at this point, when it talks about sporting events happening with no fans, okay, just let them happen. I'm okay with that.
I mean, if they can figure out how to. Yeah.
The city of pumping in fake crowd noise. We know how to make these things sound like there are fans there. We're good to go.
Yeah, we'll just fake it. It's all good.
Exactly. Roddy White out there, and
depending on what sports play, if they could get this tournament to play somehow, people would watch the crap out of it.
Absolutely. I mean, like I watch the draft every year, but this year I watched the draft. I mean, it was like must-see TV. It's just something going on.
I watched until the Falcons, and then I started playing my video game.
Well, we watched for majority of it then.
It's like half, right? We were 16, I think.
Actually, which, funny enough, this leads straight into the next topic is the NFL draft. Yeah. So,
where we had multiple Georgia State athletes were drafted in the early rounds. No, I was watching a different thing.
Yeah. No Georgia State players were drafted.
No.
2 are on teams, right?
There were 6 or 7 Sun Belt players drafted. A couple App Staters, a couple of Louisiana.
Makes sense.
Oolalas, a couple of winners. Actually, I guess Oolala had the most. They had 3, it looks like. So
I mean they've been solid for a while now.
They had a round 2 pick.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Robert Hunt, guard to the Dolphins. They actually had 2 guards picked, which is weird. Yeah. So you guys need to learn how to get bladders. But so App State and Georgia Southern, 2 teams we played this season, both had a couple players drafted.
Georgia Southern did too, huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had Kendall Vildor, the cornerback, and where's the other guy? Tyler Bass, place kicker.
Well, the important thing to know about Georgia Southern right now is that the Falcons actually drafted a place kicker, which means that they do not give a shit about the Georgia Southern kicker that they have right now.
Yeah, they also didn't give a crap about Blankenship from Georgia.
Hey,
He didn't get picked up at all. So.
Well, he got picked up. He didn't get drafted, right? But he got picked up.
Yeah, I think he did get
in free agency.
Yeah. Well, so Georgia State did have 2 undrafted free agents. Shout out to Brandon Wright going to the Jags, and then Hunter Atkinson. He's looking to make me buy one of these new crappy Falcons uniforms.
Hell yeah, man!
An agreement with the Atlanta Falcons. I will be pulling for him. Big time.
I've always sort of been pulling for Hunter, man. I was telling you guys that I had like a recruiting thing about him, but like when we first were recruiting him, it was kind of long standing, and we recruited him at tight end, and at the very last minute, Georgia came in and scooped him up. He had actually committed to Georgia State. And then Georgia scooped him up at the very, very last minute, and he went there. And before the spring training or whatever basketball does, I mean football does, was over, like he had like left, and everyone said it was because of his girlfriend or whatever. I have no idea what the deal was there. But then he ended up coming to Georgia State anyway, and just having to sit out a year because of whatever ended up happening there.
Because then sucks.
What? Yeah, because the rules are stupid. Yeah, exactly. So, but he's been like a highly productive member of our offensive line since.
I'm a fan of Hunter. Obviously, I am dying to have that first Georgia State player on the Falcons, because that will be my tried and true jersey that I wear every single game. So if it's Atkinson, let's do it. I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. He's a good player.
Yeah, it's good. Sadly, Trey Barnett did not get picked up anywhere, which I don't know if there was a big chance for it, but he had just a breakout season. You thought maybe he'd gotten a pickup in the free agency or the undrafted free agents market, but didn't happen.
Hopefully he can find his way on a team somehow.
So Ben was commenting on Panther Talk that with the way things are going with this whole pandemic stuff, that you're going to see a lot of players getting picked up as they normally do. So, I mean, work not in his favor, which is unfortunate. Hopefully he gets somewhere. I mean, there's Canadian leagues and whatever. Hopefully he has an opportunity, because obviously he's an explosive player that deserves some professional looks. So, you guys got anything else in the – oh, there was something someone about the draft, not Georgia State related at all, but Randy Moss's kid's been playing for LSU and did not get drafted, which I think is pretty surprising.
Well, wait, and then when I watched the LSU game, like, he was awesome. He's a wide receiver, right? And he was amazing.
Tight end.
Tight end? Oh, yeah.
Thaddeus Moss. I didn't write it down, but I think that he did get picked up by a team undrafted. That's kind of surprising. You'd think that, yes, exactly. National championship team, legendary receivers kid, you think just something like a 7th round at least, like we'll throw away something to have rights to him or something.
I mean, regardless of that, I think I remember watching the national championship game and them noting him and some of the amazing plays he was making, and I was like, well, he's a good player, right? I mean, that's the weird part, right? Who cares who he's
and then
who his dad is?
Other players, just a little locally, the Jake Fromm did not. I think he went
sixth round.
Yeah. So quarterback's weird, right? Because you always get quarterbacks who are rated lower. They get lower draft grades, but because of the teams that pick first need quarterbacks first, so they take these lower draft grade people, and then like quarterbacks get spread out. Feels like.
Well, I don't pay a lot of attention to Georgia. Like I root for all Georgia schools with the exception of the obvious, but I don't really pay attention that closely to it. And so I know like Jake Fromm was like this, all-star quarterback, at least that first year when they won the national championship run and everything. So I just assumed that he was like a low first, high second round kind of draft pick, but without paying any attention to it. So he kept on dropping and dropping and dropping. I'm like messaging my Georgia friends, not that I care, but like, what the hell's going on? And I guess last season was really, really bad for him and just kind of tanked his his opportunities there.
The thing is your low first round teams are your best teams, and they don't need quarterbacks. And then in the second round, they've already taken their quarterbacks, the people who need them.
But there were quarterbacks taken ahead of him that I can't remember now, but there were quarterbacks taken ahead of him that didn't seem to be as profile as what Jake Fromm was.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's some problem with his game.
Jacob Eason was picked in the 4th round.
Yikes.
He was the former Georgia quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that Fromm stole his job.
Yeah.
So like you think like going from, let's say, a high second round draft pick for Fromm, and he goes down to the 6th. He went from getting a $10-15 million contract potentially to a 1, maybe 2 at best type thing. Like I was telling my wife about it. I was telling Kim about it. I was like, that's not retirement money. Like if you can get 10, 15, $20 million contract to play 3 or 4 years,
you're just done. Yeah.
If you manage your money appropriately, that's retirement money. You get $2 million, that's great money. It's great money, but that's not going to survive you. You're not retiring off of that. I mean, unless you live in a hut.
Yeah. You really got to manage that well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really care about UGA and Jake Fromm. It was just kind of one of those things that were surprised. Being local, it kind of surprised me. I was intrigued. I was following it. It was interesting to me. I think I paid more attention to Jake Fromm in the draft than I ever did when he was quarterbacking for UGA.
I think I paid attention to the draft up till pick 16 and then stopped completely. Just turned it off.
I watched all of the first round. I had some friends and I did a Falcons draft watch party.
It was so long. I could not believe how long. I know they were talking about how short it was because of like how quick the picks were coming in, but I could not believe how long it took.
We're an hour and a half into this podcast, and you're doing okay. It's kind of
we were like 3 hours in when we got to 16.
No, it wasn't that long. Was it that long?
It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't think you know how clocks work. So
it took forever.
Well, that's all I got for this week as far as the episode goes.
Well, it sounds like we have enough because an hour and a half is a long time.
Yeah, that's a solid episode right there.
I think it's pretty good.
What I learned this episode is that we just need to have John on the episode
at all times. You need to have him on the speakerphone.
Well, we just should invite him to the podcast in upcoming week.
Open invitation anytime he wants to be on the podcast. Welcome to
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about doing we'll talk about this a bit more in last call, but what did you guys think about doing the Facebook Live kind of thing? You like this?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah,
it's good.
I think it was good. Yeah.
I was a little upset that I had to move and like my internet connection, but that's on me. That's,
Yeah. That's
it was solid like the last, bazillion weeks. What happened?
I have no idea. It happened to me when I was recording another podcast earlier this week too. I was up there and I ended up having to take the video off, but then I couldn't do that here because we're doing the Facebook thing.
Because it's video, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we're specifically putting the video out there, so I don't know.
This is good chatter for last call, which I think we'll head into.
That's true. Sorry, man.
I want to thank Tim and Ryan for being on here, and thanks to everybody that was watching. We did have a few viewers on Facebook, which is pretty cool. If you like this and you want to see us do this thing weekly or more often or something like that, let us know. I like it a lot. John, I would love to have you just with us every single time. It was great.
You've more than earned your spot. You could even kick either me or Tim off.
You can have
just Tim. Just kick Tim off.
We are going to head into last call, which will be on Patreon, patreon.com/last call, and be available to everybody on Friday for free on the audio version, and available to our Patreon members immediately as soon as I can get through all this kind of stuff. It's hard to do it now. I'm not as quick with it as I was before. But thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Tim.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody that was watching and listening on Facebook. We really appreciate it.